One battle after another. Paul Thomas Anderson brings us his first major blockbuster budgeted revolutionary drama epic starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Tiana Taylor, Regina Hall, Sean Penn, Benicio del Toro, and introducing Chase Infinity. I gotta say, I from the trailer, I really did not know what to expect, and I am thoroughly surprised. It wasn't until the end where I kind of felt the runtime. I think this works. I know the major story with this is essentially there are two fronts. One of it is on the industry side, the budget. Warner Brothers essentially owning up to it being between 130 and 140. More accurate representations are saying it's about 150. I can now see how that came to, because you're like, how is this? But between the look of it, the finish of it, and the locations shooting between here and what was probably Mexico and the greater Southwest, and some of the set pieces primarily involving cars and a few explosions, it doesn't surprise me, but I do wonder if it could have gotten to, let's say, maybe like 100 or 90. But anyway, and then the second thing being that it's like woke in its political presentation. I don't particularly feel that. I mean, it seems like it's just a blanketed kind of fail-safe now between a certain demographic of movie reviewers and thought-sayers. I think it was actually in its satire, which as a satire, you have to call out certain things on both sides. I think it calls out the absurdity of leftist radical groups, and it calls out the absurdity between overarching right views or these current sort of incendiary political views on the right. And then there's some centrists involved, and then there's some conspiracy verbs involved as well. I'm going to kind of keep this without spoilers if I can. I had a good time. I mean, PTA knows cinema. He knows how to convey and present films and movies. Like he is cinema. Between the scoring, between the beauty of the shots, the way that this was put together. I mean, I've never seen him film cars this way. I mean, there is now what will go down in cinematic history as one of the most suspenseful and creative car chase scenes I have ever witnessed, and what most people will ever witness in their lives, involving rolling hills and cars out in the Southwest or in Mexico. It's just a very thrilling and creative and beautifully executed piece of cinematic storytelling involving car chase scenes. And Chase is driving in one of those cars, but so many thoughts, really. Not that there's a lot going on in it, but what is going on, as in true PTA fashion, he doesn't shy away from fully exploring what he wants to. He gets his juice out of a subject matter, and I just, again, I feel like this is another director kind of maybe telling us something about their personal life under the guise of a story. There's just something in this. And PTA, I love you, man. I have been day one, man, ride or die. And I know he and Maya Rudolph are still together, but there is something in this where it's like there is, and I'm sure people are drawing this, and I'm not doing this out of disrespect. There has to be some element of his life, and even Maya being mixed race herself, there has to be something in his own relationship that infused and informed the greater majority of the story. I can't see how it didn't. And I think smartly, as a writer and director and storyteller, for dramatic and narrative sake, he over embellishes that in the counterparts representation of Tiana Taylor, making the black be black, right, and making the revolutionary act of them being together have a greater dichotomy between what would be the shell of PTA and as Maya Rudolph, and then Chase being essentially like the Maya portion, like of being a mixed race child. I don't know, if you're pregnant and you're shooting off guns like that, I don't know the science, but I feel like that baby would have been deaf. I feel like that baby would have been born deaf if you're shooting off all those rounds of a Gatling gun like that, of a Tommy gun. But hey, it was fun. It was a fun moment. I get it. I get it. You gotta bring the bring the point along, make it happen. But I'm just saying that baby ain't here nothing. I don't know. I liked it. I really did. It's another PTA win for me. I mean, he didn't shy away from the gritty parts. I mean, once things go down, and it's gripping. It's very, very, very compelling. I don't know if it's tight, but it's PCA. I mean, is Magnolia tight? It's a great film, and but through the 2 hours and 45 minutes of it, I have to say I was in all of it. You know, there wasn't really many heavy sighs of like, okay, I was in it. You know, performance sake, you know, I think most people will call attention to this as Leo's sort of Lebowski moment. You know, I think it works. I mean, do I think this movie would have gotten green light without him? It's questionable, especially at that budget. I mean, Leo himself, I think, is a $25 million ticket. So, you know, but I can see it, you know, in the same sense of like with, you know, Once Upon a Time, you go, you know, and then once he's in it, you're like, okay, that's what's happening. He's in it. So yeah, so I get it. I really do. And, yeah, man, I was along for the ride. All the casting additions seemed to work for me. Tiana was an interesting choice. I think she's hot right now, so I think that might have. And I know PTA's been a fan, and even when this was being talked about a couple of years ago, and he was raving up being a fan of hers. But also, I think it maybe initially he was talking about Tiffany Haddish too. I'm not sure, but I know he was raving about. But yeah, the fact that he's a Tiana Taylor fan is interesting. And having her in this, she proves herself again and again to be she's a present actor, you know, so she really brings it when she's involved, so it's great. I mean, I don't know, you know, Tiana Taylor's a baddie, so for him to pull her, but I get it, it's for the thing and for the story, for the cause, and blah, 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 but man, that's quite he had to have some serious game where she was just, and yeah, interesting depiction of the, her sex drive and women and attraction and power. It was an interesting commentary on power and women, and yeah, there's some things going in here that I do not know the root of, but again, yeah, I'm not mad at it, but man, she was out for her own, I'll tell you that. A strong lead and a strong personality. Yeah, it's I have to be honest, that was the one, and her, yeah, what they do with that character, I mean, it's not really spoiling, but yeah, it is essentially the weakest part of the character, and she's really just a catalyst to get everything going, because the movie survives entirely without her. So, Sean Penn was hilarious, just an interesting portrayal of that system and what he is. I wonder what everybody is involved in, what they're going for. It seems like there's, you know, obviously speaking against the system, whether that's the movie system, you know, or just you know, the the climate that we live in, but yeah, man, I gotta say, I really enjoy this. I think as a satire, it's an incredibly executed satire. As far as what it was doing, it made sense to me, and I think Leo just fully devoted himself like he always does to these roles. I think Chase Infinity was super compelling to watch. Their dynamic. I was curious how he's going to land the plane, this movie, and he does it honestly in as cinematic a way as he could, and I find it was a very epic and satisfying and very tension relieving ending on many fronts of the third act. Yeah, without spoiling, man, it's worth a watch. It really is, and I'm just more impressed that it, you know, got made, got greenlit at the budget it did. Could it have been done for less? Who's to say? I don't know, but I'm glad this is here, and I do wonder if I find that I would watch this again. Yeah, very enjoyable. I really liked it, and if you're curious about seeing it, I would suggest that you do, and in theaters as well, because it was a good, it was a great moment to experience in there too. Great music choices, great soundtrack. The shots are fantastic. It's a beautiful film. Yeah, PTA does it again. I got nothing else. So, like and subscribe for more reviews and reactions to movies, trailers, and TV like this. And until next time, keep watching.